Hello, Dr. L here. This is a short video to explain the new SPKISS chart on the daytradingforecast.com website. That website gives turning point forecasts for the S&P Emini. It has used standard candlestick charts for many years, but I've recently invented a new kind of chart called a plasma chart. And I've also discovered a function that I call a push ball, which is a way of telling when bigger traders are trying to push prices higher or lower. So this is the modified SPKISS chart. Moon tides give times during the day. Today had 4 of them right in here. Of those 4, or 5 rather, 3 were selected for trade times by my software. The first trade time was right here around 10 o'clock Eastern. Now, on this chart, these are 1-minute bars, but they're not colored red or green. On that scale, the color of individual bars is unimportant. What is important is that those bars are an electric current around which is a magnetic field, which creates a electric field flux channel. So here the darker green is the upcoming channel. Now, inside of that channel, when there's serious selling pressure, we'll get these little magenta push balls going down, and when there's serious buying pressure, we'll get the yellow push balls going up. And that shows you where the real serious effort's being made. Now, the first turn here, this is a tide turn and a trade time. Now, I typically have used a 110-minute exponential moving average and a 20-minute exponential moving average and a 440-minute exponential moving average. To those, to aid with the short-term trades, I've added a 6-minute exponential moving average here in magenta. So the 6 crossed the 20 right here going into the tide time, and it ran up past the tide time. So just a moving average buy would be right here, sell would be right there. Now in terms of the hotline rules, if I'd taken that one going in, I wouldn't take one going out. But you kind of have a choice, because when you see this hitting the upper band here, and that's called the upper Larson band, as explained on Day Trading Forecasts. Right up here we got a sell in the exponential moving averages, followed by going lower push balls, and then the 20 crossed the 110. Now right in here you notice a little gap in the dark green plasma channel as we push through the 110. So when the plasma channel gaps like that, that's real serious pressure. Well, then it ran down here, up a little more, ran down again. Then it kind of stalled out down here. So there was a secondary sell, a second sell in here where the 20 crossed the 110. You could get a leg up on it if you dared to go up here early, or just notice the plasma channel has a border to it, and there's a little void right in here. This little void right here tell you where you might want to just put a stop. Here the plasma channel edges were clearly downsloping. Here they got steeper and went lower. Now here they tried to come up, and we got a little bit of buying right here at the next tide time. That should be a high energy time, but it wasn't all that high energy because we got one yellow push ball, up push ball or buying push ball, and a second one right on the 110, And notice that second one here is isolated. There's no dark green around it. Just like this one over here has no dark green around it. So those isolated push balls outside of the plasma channel indicate some sort of an exhaustion. So following that, we sold off here, and on the lower Larsen band, we were making a series of magenta push balls, and then they quit. Right in about here, you could see that the plasma channel boundary was right up about 2045 and a half. When prices broke up above that boundary, as indication that buying was coming in. Right there we got the 6-minute crossing the 20. We got buying right on the 1110. Not much of a pullback on it. Notice this little dimple in here in the plasma channel. This little inlet right here you could use as a stop location. Ran up here a few more yellow push balls. But right up in here we got two at the same height, and then the 6-minute moving average started coming down. So that would indicate it was going flat. And here in midday, as often happens midday, we did get flat. But again, right in here, notice the plasma channel had a little crevice in it right there. Dark blue background, and the darker green plasma channel right there. So a break above that little inlet indicated more buying coming in, and then indeed we got a few going up push balls. The 6 had crossed the 20 and was still holding up here. Here we got a higher push ball near the upper band, and then a cross of the 6 and 20 where you long. If you're long there, you'd want to get out. But this was this was a tide time, but not a trade time. Software picked the second one as a trade time, but look, by then we tried to push up and couldn't make it. Pushing down, we get a crossing in here, going a little bit lower. No yellow push balls, but down in here, if you just notice the slope of these moving averages, the 6 did a little hook and go right in there on the 20. Not really a lot of energy down here, not reaching the lower band. So this was probably a point in the day just to stay out of this, because this is obviously a congestion right in here. But then going into this last trade time, a little bit of a buy here. We got these equal level selling push balls, no continuation through, not a string of push balls. Come up here, we get a crossing, a little push ball there, but no follow through on it, no follow through. Time to get worried. Okay, another little push up here, not much higher, nowhere near the upper band, and then starting to sag up here right at the last trade time. So passing the last trade time, here's the 6 crossing the 20, and the 20 crossing the 1110 and the 440. So there is a convergence of crossings on 4 moving averages. If you've ever used MACD, that's moving average convergence divergence. Here they've converged, and now they're going to diverge. And right under here, here's the lower edge of the plasma channel. Breaking it, probably not a good sign. There's the push ball. So there's very good sell entry right there. If you didn't sell there, you probably should have sold here on the second push ball, because that's down at about 2044, and by that time the divergence of the moving averages, all 4 of them, is quite clear. And then if you watch, we hit the lower Larson band and just followed it down. The 20 continues down. The 6 crossed the 20 up here, and even at the close had not crossed it to get above it. So this would be a cover on close. So that's a quick look at 1 day's SPKISS Plasma Plus Pushball chart, now featured on daytradingforecast.com. I created this chart to make it a little bit easier to try to trade the S&P Emini, which if you've ever tried it, you know that it is a hard beast to tame. It does a lot of toing and froing, and then it makes a good move. So here's the toing and the froing in the middle. Here's a good move up here, and a good move down here. And that's a typical day of thrust, congest, thrust. So that's what I wanted to show you. If you want to see more, you can come to the Chaos Clinic on Fridays at daytradingforecast.com, or sign up for the hotline and enjoy using this chart throughout the trading week.